day star Swift really put some pressure on in England in that goalkeeper position, and we see her starting here for Trinidad and Tobago. She'll be supported by Green at goal defence and Jack at wing D. Guerrero and Simon goal will be key in giving McCullen and Wallace the opportunities to score. For Scotland, Mulhern in the back, you will hear her before you see her. You've got Maxwell in the middle and Barry shooting.
Let's welcome your match officials, the on-court umpires, Angela Armstrong-Lush and Helen George.
Trinidad and Tobago then against Scotland. The ball is being brought in.
The ball carrier.
This will decide who plays Northern Ireland for the 9th, 10th playoff, or it'll be 10th, well, 11th and 12th playoff on Saturday against Barbados. So first centre pass then between Trinidad and Tobago and Scotland. Both teams like to start hard, like to start fast, Pamela Cooking. What we expecting?
Yeah, definitely that. Both teams will want to come out of the blocks early and strong and try and get that upper hand to see them into the rest of this game. As we said before, Scotland had a really great first quarter against world number 2 Jamaica. Can they do it again against Trinidad and Tobago?
So Scotland coming off the back of that loss, as Pamela said, 67-36 yesterday. But head coach Gail Parata was delighted with some of the stuff that she saw from her Scottish Thistles side. Trinidad and Tobago had a loss to England, 72-46. They lost every quarter yesterday, Trinidad, so they're going to want to make amends for that in the first 15 minutes today. Looking to get the first score on the board. Rebalance from the goal shooter for Scotland, Barry, and the good form continues from the 17-year-old.
Yeah, lovely play from Barry. She's so young, but she's so cool in the head. She's really stepped up now, coming into the Sirens team after Kat Latu went away with pregnancy, and she's really grown and shone every time she stepped on the court, and she's doing it again now for Scotland.
Well, she only made her UK Super League debut for Strathclyde Sirens in March this year, and now she's the starting goal shooter for Scotland in a Netball World Cup.
What a rise, eh? Such a short time.
It's a job well done. So Mulhern in the goalkeeper position on the opposite end of her career, one of the most heavily capped players in the Netball World Cup. Scotland looking to take it through this centre third. Start with that pace that we spoke about that they had yesterday. Gail Parata said she learnt a lot, Pamela, in that match against Jamaica in terms of the Caribbean style.
Yeah, and that's what's been really great about this World Cup, in that everybody's learning to play against the different styles, those that you wouldn't necessarily play with on a regular basis. So for them to be able to play Jamaica yesterday can take those learnings into this Trinidad and Tobago game today. Caribbean sides like to use that aerial play, very athletic.
Contact wing. Centre contact.
Yeah, contact called against Maxwell. The centre for Scotland will stand by.
Vantage wing obstruction. Vantage contact. Vantage offside wing.
Nice quick hands there from McCullen, but offside called.
Inside the circle.
And a chance for Scotland to make this 3 up.
Well, just as Sam Wallace, the goal shooter for Trinidad and Tobago, was poised to take her first shot of this match, it's denied and back in the hands of the Thistles. The world number 7s really have made good progress in recent times, especially since last year, the Scottish side.
But that was Jack there coming up in the wing defence position to get that intercept, and that's 2 opportunities now Scotland have had to be able to kind of stretch this early lead. Really want to take advantage of those interceptions and turnover in play. Oh, Sammy Wallace, even with a hand in her face, she was still able to put that one through the net.
Shot 20 out of 22 when given the chance against England yesterday. But high percentage shooting from Wallace throughout this Netball World Cup. Here the whistles of the umpires, Angela Armstrong-Lush, the New Zealand umpire, and Helen George, the Australian, taking charge of this one.
Good from Gallagher. Nice settler, that's her first shot of this game, and she sinks it. It's nice as a goal attack just to get your hands on the ball and take that first shot early So you feel you can get yourself into the game that way. And lovely from Monheim there. We thought this matchup would be quite key, her against Wallace.
Yeah, it's one of those tasty matchups, isn't it? The goal shooter for Trinidad and Tobago against the equally tall goalkeeper for Scotland. Maxwell then, eyes everywhere. Nice little 1-2, trying to get it into the circle. Gallagher looking to get a little bit closer in terms of position.
Hold time.
But just going offside
Scotland
there.
centre. Scotland centre, that's delaying play. That's a caution, bring it up and in line with me, centre.
Caution
Centre
early on
side.
for Maxwell. She didn't realise, I feel, that it was her that was being called for offside, delayed the ball going back, and hence she received the caution.
Advantage wing obstruction.
So, chance for Trinidad
Goal
and Tobago
defence.
to bring one back in this match. Scotland
Where you
leading
are, goal
3
attack.
goals to 1, coming up to 10 minutes
Trying to get
remaining
the
of this
ball,
first
you need to
quarter.
get
Sam
the
Wallace
ball.
having
You
a
need to
little
get
bit
the
of a
ball.
word,
No,
shall we
enough,
say, with
no more.
Mulheron. Mulheron saying, look, she's pushing me.
Yep, as they were trying to get the ball,
Let's just settle
she
down.
thought she was coming through the back of her, telling the umpire exactly what she thought.
Guide obstruction. Go in.
Umpire's words. Come on, everybody, settle down.
Hold time.
We mentioned that feisty matchup,
That's
which
it.
is developing into such. Look at Barry in the goal shooter position.
Guide obstruction.
Ready and
Centre
poised, has
contact.
the height
No.
advantage
Outside.
over the
The
goalkeeper. Daystar Swift lining up for Trinidad and Tobago at the start of this match.
Contact goal defence. You're grabbing the hip.
Yeah, I
Set.
said she had a good start to the game
Obstruction
against
by
England
players.
yesterday. But then England getting on top of Trinidad and Tobago for that great win.
A little step forward by Gallagher. She slots one in.
And 2 from 2.
So centre pass Trinidad and Tobago.
Contact, wing defence, you're holding her.
Started
With the wing defence.
on Friday at this World Cup with a loss against South Africa, then to Jamaica and Fiji, and then Uganda, tough group. Had that
Running
win against
contact, goal
Fiji,
defence.
excuse me, 67-56.
Contact.
Oh, I thought she might take a shot there, the birthday girl, but no, that's the teammate pop one in, a little high five between them.
Yeah, and I think that was clever of her just to settle that. But wow, what vision there from Claire Maxwell as Gallagher ran round onto the baseline. Bullet pass on her own under the post.
Guidance contact. Wing attack.
Advantage obstruction, wing attack.
Scotland, though, still have the 2-goal lead. Oh, flying in. Nice footing on the
On the
landing.
land.
And McCollin
Yeah,
starting to do a bit of work now herself as well.
yeah, nice from her. She did a lot of shooting yesterday, as we see here, this pass from Maxwell, right from that centre third into the shooting circle. I think in this game, McCullin and Wallace will need to kind of share that a little bit more.
Guidance contact. No offside.
McCollin shot 26 from 29
Contact
yesterday,
goalkeeper.
but 100% in that loss against Uganda. So a good shooting partnership. We know that from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, they've played together since under 16s, under 21s, and now senior team as well. So that's developed over the year. But a lovely screen on Barry to help protect Gallagher on the shot, to keep Daystar Swift out of the way.
Guide obstruction. Goal
Advantage
attack.
obstruction, goal attack.
Scotland still lead by 2. Another lively start
Advantage centre
by the world number
obstruction.
7s. Despite those losses, Scotland really have been standing tall against some of the top sides in this World Cup, showing why they're the world number 7s in the latest rankings. Claire Maxwell doing a little shift of the head. Over you go.
No goal shoot obstruction.
It's weird to hear an obstruction call from a goal shooter, so
Throw in.
potentially, I guess, marking the space with a hand.
Down. Wing defence down. That's it.
There she is, moved down the line a bit. Anella Jack in that wing defence
Running
position
centre
for Trinidad
obstruction.
and Tobago. Gets us underway.
Advantage contact, keeper.
Nicely done, kept in by Guerrero. Strapping still on the right knee, as it has been throughout the tournament from their star shooter, Sam Wallace. Obviously just precaution rather than a problem. She's popping them in with no problems.
Contact wing defence.
See the Scottish players in the back of his shot there on the right, always warming up if needed, always ticking over. You never know what's going to happen. You might be called upon, there might be an injury.
Especially as Gail Parata likes to rotate her bench during quarters as well as quarter time, as we saw in their game against England. So you never know when you could be called on to come on the court.
That is causing contact, shooter.
Gail Parata went through 3 shooters in total in that loss against England in match number 2. So she can mix and match it up, but she won't be doing so at the moment though, Pamela Cookie. Scotland started well again, a 2-goal advantage.
Yeah.
Centre obstruction, centre third.
All calm and collected at the moment on the Trinidad and Tobago bench. Just to pull it back to 1 and it rattles in.
Great shot there from McCullum. Scotland will be a little bit disappointed in terms of they've had a lot of turnover ball. They've forced 4 general play turnovers in terms of then going down to post, but they haven't been able to finish at the end, and that's what's allowed. And again, another error there, footwork called from Claire Maxwell, allows Trinidad and Tobago now to come back on the attack.
That is causing contact, centre.
That is contact, wing.
Oh, she thought about giving back Guerrero to her.
That was clever from Mulhern.
Teammate, but very good work from her.
Yeah, great work there in terms of just using her body, not touching the ball and forcing it out, but to block out Wallace. And they get the back line.
That is contact.
Nice bit of passage of play.
Contact, wing attack.
From the Thistles. Contact called.
That
So
is
stand by.
contact, centre, advantage offside.
Feisty contest there with Guerrero and Maxwell at centres.
Draw one. Hold time.
That ball just needing to be a little bit higher and out of the reach of Daystar Swift. We know she's got a long range.
Offside,
We know
wing
she's
attack.
got quick hands. And again, another unforced error there from Scotland. Just needing to tidy that up a little bit.
Daystar Swift in that goalkeeper position, nearing 50 caps for her country, stands at 1.91 m tall. Gallagher, back to Maxwell.
Swift again there, reading that really well on that right-hand side. She's just making it really difficult for this Scottish team. But nice swing around the edge of the circle, and Gallagher again, she does not miss from there.
Still at 100%, Lindsay Gallagher.
I was speaking to Ella Gibbons the other day, and she was saying how much they really do rely on Gallagher and how much they know when she gets the ball, she's more than likely going to score it for them. She called her solid goal attack, cool, calm, under pressure.
It's the second World Cup for Gallagher, so she's got that experience. Look at Mulhern there, passing on directions to her teammates. And Scotland still have a 1-goal advantage coming up to 3 minutes of this first quarter remaining. A change you see on the left of your shot for Trinidad and Tobago in the goal defence position. So it was green for TNT, so a change has been made. Head coach Wesley Pepe Gomes making a change in this first quarter.
Goal third.
That would have been because, Pam, obviously many reasons why, but if you're reading the game, was it justified from a positional point of view?
Yeah, I think so, in terms of Gallagher was getting the better. She's having some nice runs into that circle. Free as a bird at times, so they would be looking to put some more pressure on that.
What a take, the Velcro hands of the teenager. Pops one in. Under 2.5 minutes remaining. The jog forward by Guerrero in the centre position. Realising the close nature of this first quarter. There's confirmation of the team now for Trinidad and Tobago. Baptiste into the goal defence position.
And we saw her come on yesterday in that second quarter, so they're not afraid to mix around with that goal defence position.
Still just the 1 goal. 1 or 2 is the difference between these two sides. The last World Cup, they played in the match to make the 9th to 10th playoff. Trinidad and Tobago winning that one by 1 goal. And then they went on,
That is contact, wing defend.
as I say, to finish 9th overall in the World Cup, and Scotland in 12th.
Not taken.
They lost to Fiji in that 11th, 12th playoff match, Scotland did. So Barry, only good things have been said about one of the youngest players in this Netball World Cup, Pamela Cookie, and quite rightly so, a former shooting star yourself. Why is she so good? What's she doing?
I think for someone so young, she's just come on with a great head on her. She's not phased by playing against big opposition. Under the post, she's accurate. And she's got good hands. She's learnt, she's developed. She's strong, she can take that ball. And that's what you need for a tall goal shooter. There's no point being tall but not being able to catch the ball and shoot. But she can do that. Give Scotland some different options, not just a rotating circle as well.
Well, tall and technique is what you can put against Sam Wallace as well. Shooting at 100% so far. Bringing Trinidad and Tobago back into one. But Scotland now on the charge to try and stretch it out to 2 with 40 seconds remaining of this first quarter. Look at Barry. In the goal shooter position, Barry is having an absolute battle with Daystar Swift.
Yeah, she's standing up to her. She's not letting it phase her. Daystar Swift more experienced than Barry, but she's getting good front position, a nice front hold. What she does need now is for a Scottish teammate to pass her the ball, because you can't hold it forever.
Ball back in play. Time for one more, maybe,
from
Scotland, if we get a little passage of play without the whistle stoppage.
It's inside, ladies.
So inside the shooting D, therefore it's going to be picked up by Gallagher. There we go. The crowd are counting back the clock. Another one popped in, and Scotland have got a fight on their hands here against Trinidad and Tobago. But good shooting from the Scottish pairing have them in the lead over Trinidad and Tobago by 11 goals to 9.
Start for both teams well in it after the first 15 minutes.
Ball in play. Scotland leading Trinidad and Tobago then by 2. What words would have been said, Pamela Cookie, by either Wesley Peppy-Gomes or Gail Parata?
I think it would have been the same for both teams. Take control of your possession. When they're getting turnovers, which they both are, pretty much equal in terms of turnovers, it's how you then convert them down the other end. We see there's 2 mistakes straight off the mark of footwork for Trinidad and Tobago, and then a replayed ball for Scotland.
Shooter obstruction.
A little frown as the camera left the face of Gail Parata, the Scottish head coach of New Zealand Silver Fern herself, of course, and doing some very good work, as has netball in Scotland on the whole the last few years, and it's being rewarded with a world ranking of number 7 for the Thistles, and they would love to hold on to this one. But of course, Trinidad and Tobago, who've never let Scotland beat them, are not going to have any of it.
No, they'll be looking to keep that 100% record on wins.
Throwing goal line.
But I'm liking this tussle between Barry and Swift. Lovely dodge. And we see Goodwin across the bottom, but it's still Barry in there. Sorry, Goodwin coming on at goal shooter. What she brings different is that a little bit more movement. That baseline dodge that just happened. Not so much of a holding shooter as is Barry.
Why would Gail Parata have changed that?
Maybe just to bring something different into it, to keep Trinidad and Tobago guessing. I don't think Barry was doing anything wrong.
Wing attack. Contact, wing attack.
Goodwin's put some good stats in. Shot 18 from 24 in that match against South Africa, 9 from 12 in the loss against England. So she's been on court, she's got court time. And Gail Parata mixing it up a little bit then in the shooting end.
So you'll see now more of a rotation in that shooting end, not as tall. So you'll see both shooters coming out for ball, both driving to the post, obviously at different times.
Contact goalkeeper. Back here with me.
So Goodwin will walk over with the ball, drop it down. Let the dance begin. Gallagher.
Goal defence.
Yeah, she's going to get pulled. Get pulled on that one.
Baptiste was tight.
Baptiste was tight. And then had to watch another one pop in for the Scottish side. They lead by 2. That was the lead they had after the first 15 minutes. Just feels like you're just waiting for Trinidad and Tobago to, you know, bring it up a notch, just to click a little bit more.
Yeah, just to step that up a bit more fight in this. But this is kind of what we've seen a couple of games as well. Just that injection of pace needed, I think, from Simangol and Guerrero at wing attack and centre, just to lift this game for Trinidad and Tobago, because, as we've said time and time again, McCullin and Wallace won't miss under the post.
The Barbados head coach earlier said that she just felt Northern Ireland wanted it a little bit more when they won in the first match of the day, because remember, the winner of this match will face Northern Ireland for that 9th, 10th playoff place on Saturday. At the moment, we're feeling some good intensity from the Scottish side. Nice little scrap for the ball, that you guys like to do.
With me here.
I like this from the umpire, acknowledging that she'd played on, and it was an advantage to Trinidad and Tobago, and so pulling it back.
Wallace is 7 from 7 at 100%, pops another one in to make it 8 from 8 at 100%, so she's going well as usual. That was nice, that was nice, that was easy, that was good, and all of a sudden, TNT have a 1-goal lead.
Indeed, yeah, that was better use of space, better use of driving ball, and then Sammy Wallace found herself alone to receive that lovely bounce pass.
Remember, Scotland won the first quarter against Jamaica yesterday, 14-13. Jamaica made changes, and then they went on to lose the next 3 quarters, the Scottish side. And at the moment, Trinidad and Tobago are leading this second quarter 5 goals to 2.
Obstruction, goal defence.
Colin.
Obstruction.
And giving birthday goodies and cake, head coach Wesley Pepe Gomes said, for her 24th birthday today. Pops one in.
Yeah, so the present for her would be for the Tide to win today's game, so that's what they're working towards.
Contact, goal defence.
Yep, she'll stand by Baptiste again in that goal defence position. One step in is taken. When they say 1 step in, Pamela Cookie, can you make that strategically as much as you want, or could you take basically a giant leap for mankind?
Yeah, I always used to try that, just go a little bit further, and the umpire will be like, nope, take it back.
But make it look natural, right?
Exactly.
I do walk like this, honestly.
Footwork.
Oh, footwork call. The ball's going to have to go now into the hands of Scotland, and it's crucial, guys. It's 15 goals apiece, under 10 minutes remaining until half-time. I want to get footwork calls or miss opportunities or goals when you're giving them in a match that's so tight. Gallagher still in that goal attack position, working hard with Maxwell. Experience running through the veins of this Scottish side, as well as youth as well.
That is exactly a good mix in the Scottish side. And the experienced ones are really helping the development of the debutants.
Seen that through so many of the nations here at this Netball World Cup. A really good mixture of experience and youth. The young players learning from those that have been here before, that have done it before. Because remember, the Netball World Cup once every 4 years. That's a big cycle. Some of these big names with big cap figures are not going to be around in 4 years' time as Trinidad and Tobago take the ball. They've got to make this count to draw it level, Pamela.
Yes.
Obstruction wing.
And this is where they've been struggling, just those through court play off a turnover to actually convert it. Just bunching up there, good defence from Scotland. Just need to see a little bit more movement from Trinidad and Tobago, but they work it down, and lovely Sam Wallace just taking that front hole position, quick offload, and she's straight under the post.
The next World Cup in 4 years, the 16th staging of this competition, will be held in South Africa to mark the first time the tournament will be held in Africa. again, an example of the strength of the African nations. They have more nations from Africa than any other INF region, Pamela Cookie, so that's something for many of these players in the sport to look forward to.
Definitely 4 African teams in this World Cup. So it's been great to see the rise of netball across all the nations and continents.
Advantage wing obstruction.
So Scotland, a nation that has held the World Cup previously, toe for toe, neck and neck, 16 apiece in this second
Goal
quarter.
defense outside the circle obstruction. Goalkeeper.
Nice from Gallagher. She keeps a 100% record, 11 from 11.
That is breaking goal attack.
And they've pulled it back, Trinidad and Tobago. It's now a 7-6 lead in terms of this second quarter. And such is the tight-knit nature of this match. Every goal matters, and another one is dropped through the net by Gallagher. Still, as Pamela Cookie says, shooting at 100%, getting her job done.
Advantage obstruction.
Offside on the fence.
Boyle there, just unlucky as he tried to go out for that intercept, going over that semicircle line, which obviously you're not allowed to do as a wing defence.
Hard time, injury, goalkeeper.
So Swift we see coming off the court. And we saw that change. Again, remember yesterday when England brought on that rotating circle, so Joe Harton and Helen Housby, that got the better of them. And so Scotland are doing it now here with Gallagher and Goodwin. And I think that's one of the reasons Daystar Swift has gone to the bench.
Next to the goal attack. Next.
So Swift goes to the bench.
Wing defence, obstruction.
Saw a quick glimpse of Wesley Peppy-Gomes.
Contact goal defence outside the circle.
Played warm-up matches in Wales. Wales obviously disappointed as one of the host nations not to make this World Cup, but they put on a lovely little summer series for some of the major teams in this Netball World Cup to play. Started coaching netball many years ago now, did Gomes. Obviously a former TNT basketball player himself, as was his father. There's confirmation of those changes. So Scotland are edging away once again, Pamela. Now back to a 2-goal lead in this second quarter.
Contact goal defence, inside. Inside the circle. Hold time. Goal defence, can you just show them where?
So there we go.
Nicole there, after that tumble,
Goal tag,
both of
back
them
by the
sliding
line.
across the floor, just making sure that the court is bone
Inside
dry
with
so that
her.
no slips can occur.
This lovely one-court setup the first few days of the Netball World Cup, of course. We had court 1, court 2, and then overnight it was transformed into the one centre court here.
Wing obstruction.
For thousands of fans to pack in as we get to the business end of this World Cup. We're getting to the business end of this second quarter. Scotland now to take it out to a 2-goal advantage. Opportunity missed by Goodwin in that goal shooter position.
Yep, her first miss.
Advantage contact goal attack.
Now sitting 1 from 2. Trinidad make them pay. It's those key critical moments where you are 2 up, and if you just can get that 3, and then it would have been Scotland's.
Goal attack. Goal attack out of play.
Under 4 minutes remaining then till half-time. What needs to change, Pamela? These two sides, they're neck and neck. We're virtually goal for goal now that Trinidad have got themselves back in it. Which team needs to change something, and in what area to start potentially making a difference?
Ladies.
Yeah, there's a lot of body on body in this game. I think
And we just want to get the floor
Trinidad and
done.
Tobago, it's all about them. Well, both teams, it's about converting those opportunities. Both are having chances, but they're just not being careful with the ball and making sure it goes down to goal.
Contact. Where you are, shooter, keep it beside.
Look at Hayley Mulheron. Sorry, Pamela. Look, she's doubled over there. She's getting an absolute beastie.
She's giving as good as she's
Advantage
getting
wing
that
attack.
circle.
Advantage wing attack.
And giving as good as she's
Time.
getting.
It's intentional obstruction. It's a caution. You're delaying play. It's up here, please.
That's twice
In
now.
line with me up here.
I think when Scotland play well, when they come
you are,
off the
fine.
body, if they start to get into a battle with Trinidad and Tobago, I don't think that will be in their favour. If they can come off it, use the skill that we know that they can produce, and you make the ball do the work, just like that. Quick passes round the edge of the circle,
Rowing.
and being confident. Gallagher, we know you can shoot 13 from 13. Be confident, go to post. Don't faff around with it.
Contact centre over there. It's outside the circle. It's time, please. Let's get the ball back to each other, ladies. Just wait till it comes there. Goal defence, arms around. Sorry, goalkeeper.
A lot of whistle, a lot of movement, a lot of distraction, but in the end it was a goal.
Yeah.
That goes on the board. 20 goals each. Another change for Trinidad and Tobago. The Velcro is stuck on, so a new wing attack in position for them. It was C. Mungle, who's looks like she's now potentially departed the court, so a change
Stretching
by
goal defence.
Gomes just before half-time.
Shooting contact. Tap.
Oh, it's a toss away I'm not really agreeing with that one, was she, Wallace?
No.
And at a critical time, at 20 goals apiece, as you're coming into your half-time talk from your head coach, you want to go in with something, with a
Contact
little bit
centre
of an
third.
advantage. And Cleary then passes it
Advantage
back.
contact wing. Advantage.
Nice roll off from
Goal defence,
McCleary.
Contact. Get the top.
Good, see when they
We want goal
use their
attack.
footwork,
With the goal
get
attack.
away from their defenders, use the backspace, really opening up for them, and lovely shot under the post.
Advantage break, you're offside goal shooter.
A chance to go 2-up with their centre pass.
Advantage obstruct. Goalkeeper, you're holding. In here.
Green, the goalkeeper for Trinidad and Tobago, you heard being called
Contact, wing
for
attack.
holding.
And there we see Rhonda John Davis in that wing attack position just come on court. Such experience does she have, playing in her
Advantage
5th
offside
World
with
Cup,
defence.
6th World Cup.
Obstruction keeper.
Yep, the first player ever to play in 6 World Cups. And it's every 4 years. That's a 24-year span, which is absolutely outstanding. And still playing well is Rhonda John Davis, as is Wallace, with that nice little stat update at 100% shooting,
Advantage
12
contact, wing
from
defence.
12.
Two misses under the post from these shooters.
Advantage obstruction
That's
goal
Khalifa
attack.
McCullum's first miss.
Scotland.
Nice work, Gallagher. Still on 100%, 14 from 14.
And Scotland centre pass, looking to put one in with 30
Throw in,
seconds
Scotland.
remaining to stretch it out to 2. They had that 2-goal advantage after the first quarter.
Out wide.
So we'll consolidate that. Let's just say a nicely
Contact
even
wing.
pace walk back to the back line for Lindsay Gallagher. They have the lead.
Throw in.
Such tight
Excellent
defence
pass.
from this Trinidad Tobago duo. Green and Baptiste on everything.
Possession. Goal defence. Possession.
And the hooter goes. The lights come up. And Scotland still have the lead over Trinidad and Tobago, but now just by 1. 22-21, the Thistles are leading the Calypso girls. Half-time, 30 minutes gone. Still 2 more quarters to come.
21 is the score. Stay where you are, we have some half-time fun to bring you.
So welcome back to the M&S Bank Arena here. Trinidad and Tobago and Scotland. The Scottish side have a 1-goal advantage, 22 goals to 21. The ball being back onto the court for the 3rd quarter.
Advantage breaking goal attack.
So Trinidad and Tobago get the third quarter underway. 1 goal down against Scotland in a match that decides who plays in that 9th, 10th position finish here at the World Cup on Saturday. Northern Ireland already there with their win earlier over Barbados. And the first goal on the board for the goal attack, Khalifa McCollin. Shooting now, Pamela Cookie, at about 82%.
Guard instruction, we attack.
Yep, starting strong straight off the whistle with that, and we see Barry is back on at goal shooter for Scotland.
Contact centre.
Mixing up again, as we said, Gail Parata not afraid to make changes.
Instruction goalkeeper.
And having lost that second quarter 12-11 after winning the first
Instruction goalkeeper.
9-11.
Advantage goal.
Just about standing the tallest in that
Advantage
circle now in
goal.
terms of
Line.
shooters and defenders. 1 metre 94 tall at 17, one of the tallest in the Netball World Cup.
Oh.
That one flies out though.
Unlucky Emily Nichol didn't need to touch that one, but just making sure there wasn't a shooter behind her.
Possession.
This
goal
is
attack.
feisty. Swift back on as we see it, goalkeeper for Trinidad and Tobago. On to face Barry. Look at this here, Nichol not wanting to give an edge,
Offside.
just ripping that ball out from Khalifa McCullin.
So 4 changes confirmed then for
That's
Trinidad
contact
and
centre.
Tobago.
Throw in
There's a
Scotland.
Scottish 7
sideline.
on court at the moment. Little bounce pass to get it back in play. Gallagher then back paired up now with
Contact,
Barry
goalkeeper.
on shooting
Hold
duties.
time, goalkeeper your bib. It's actually on the goal shooter.
And that's how tight these guys are. Daystar Swift's bib was actually on Barry.
Yeah, goal attack. Thank you.
It's the turning, it's the rolling, it's the getting the positions and the angles. And now we're swapping bibs, such is the intense nature in that shooting circle. It's going to be picked up on the back line now by TNT across court. There's a lot of very fast Caribbean athletes in track and field over the years, and none of them would have got that ball that was thrown across court then. That was a mistake and a waste, and Scotland now back in control.
And again, that's the kind of pressure that this attacking end of Scotland are putting on this Trinidad and Tobago in defence, making them make mistakes. But they really need to not make their mistakes under the post, and Barry will be annoyed with herself after starting so well.
Guard instruction wing. Running centre cut. Offside, wing defence. In the circle. Centre contact.
A nice shot there of the Trinidad and Tobago bench. Players waiting
Outside
if
the
needed.
circle. Contact.
Outside the circle, there you go.
Contact goal defence.
Lots of whistle in that circle. Just getting too tight on the attackers, causing the umpire to see and pull those contacts.
Guard is breaking.
Sam
wing
Wallace
attack.
sticks on 100%, 13 from 13.
Contact goal defence.
Barry has dropped to 67%. Great long swing. That's the space that we can see from Trinidad and Tobago. They played that lovely long ball, and then it's the quick hands from McCullin and Sammy Wallace in that circle. Really works well for them.
So there's 4 changes that Wesley Pepe Gomes made coming into this third quarter. Is having the effect that he wanted, because his side were just 2 up, but Scotland pull one back. So it's 25-24. There he is. Cool, calm and collected.
Offside, goal shooter.
He's a very sharp jacket. Maybe that's because it's Khalifa McCollin's birthday. Maybe he's making an effort.
Dressing up.
We'll see if it's removed as this match heats up through this third quarter. Maxwell, little 1-2 into Gallagher. Oh, nice take.
Better from Barry. Yeah, nice, smooth, good height on it. The last two shots she missed was just hitting the front of the post. Just needed to use her legs a little bit more, and that flick of the wrist, which she did so well just then.
So Guerrero and Jack trying to combine here in the centre and the wing attack position for TNT. 1 goal up, nice split landing.
Nice, and again that cross-court ball from the centre third to the left-hand side, really working for Trinidad and Tobago. Scotland will need to look at that now.
So there are the quarter-by-quarter scores. Scotland won the first, Trinidad won the second. Trinidad now 6-3 up in the third.
Straight up.
Remember, a nation that has won the World Cup. Only 3 nations have ever won it. New Zealand, Australia and Trinidad and Tobago. And it's our 40-year anniversary from when Trinidad and Tobago admittedly shared the gold medal, but a gold medal's a gold medal. They've gone down in history as Netball World Cup champions back in 1979 in their own backyard.
Yeah, and then they soon changed the format, so there was definitely a winner going forward for World Cups. You could no longer have a tie.
We're under 10 minutes now, remaining until the final 15 minutes. Gallagher, forced backwards into the hands of Maxwell. She'll hand it over now into her wing attack on court at the moment, Nicola McCleary. Gallagher.
Contact, ball.
Too close there on the defence. She'll get another go.
See the Scotland players once again on the right of your shot, warming up if needed.
Yeah, you see Sarah McPhail from Orkney Islands, way up north, only 21. Also Lauren Tate, part of the ACL crew. Young players not probably likely to see take the court in this game. They've been training partners or just entering the Scottish team, but great to see that they're developing their netball and one's for the future.
And as we see a little ooh and an ah and a lean back kind of Olympic diving style from the goal defence of Scotland, Emily Nicol. It's soaking up the atmosphere. It's going to a major competition when you're on the fringe of breaking through and picking up all the nuggets that you do when you are in the thick of it, that develop players of any sport for their career going forward. Oh, that was nice from Scotland to bring it back to 1 against Trinidad and Tobago, 29-28. Remember that record we spoke about? Trinidad and Tobago won every single match in a Netball World Cup against Scotland in their history. What a wonderful take, my gosh. The goal shooter, Sam Wallace, she's still shooting at 100%. The range and the ability that she has for someone so tall and strong is phenomenal.
She is just beautiful to watch. The skill level that she has in terms of on the shot, but taking balls like that, her movement to create space for herself. She's not afraid to shoot up from under the post or on the edge of the circle. A real triple threat. Nice, clever there from Gallagher, just using the ball to get a little bit closer to the post, edging her feet. She's still on 100% as well. Loving that from the goal attack.
Scotland patient on the build-up.
Contact keeper, contact centre. Hold time. Goal defence, that's an intentional contact. You're grabbing your hip. Okay, that's a caution.
Yeah.
Goal defence.
So umpire just noticing there that Shaquanda Green just using her arm to try and hold Gallagher back. But she sinks the shot. As we can see, it was on Barry actually, sorry. You saw her hand just wrapped around her stomach. Can't do that.
Wallace on 100% for Trinidad and Tobago. Gallagher on 100% for Scotland. Some of those players Pamela Cookie was talking about. The good support. Hashtag backing purple has been all over social media. For the Scottish side. And Gail Parata She's loved every minute of it with her side here at this World Cup, and she would love to go into that match with Northern Ireland on Saturday and challenge for a 9th or a 10th place finish after finishing 12th 4 years ago at the World Cup. And Cleary picks it up. I thought she might have a go then.
Did, yeah, but just laying it off to Barry, just to make sure.
Just to make sure.
I think that's good, that's clever. Barry had a nice hold.
That is causing contact, shooter.
So Scotland now have swung the pendulum back to 31-30. Under 5 minutes remaining of this third quarter. Picked up by Wallace, but straight into the hands.
Lovely!
Oh.
Go on, Nicol.
That's got the crowd buoyed and excited here at the M&S Bank Arena. The Scottish fans behind us, Scottish fans all around us. We've enjoyed that one very much. And there's Claire Maxwell in the centre position for Scotland.
Yeah, she got her 100th cap in this tournament in the game against Uganda. So she's got a lot of experience in this squad, which, as we talked about earlier, helping to develop the others and pushing forward. And the likes of Gallagher, she is young, but she's been in this Thistle side a while. But as we see here from Nicol, how she just got in the way, 2 hands on that ball, and was clever enough not to try and catch the ball because she would have footworked. She just batted it back down to her keeper partner, Mulhern.
Side centre.
And now Scotland have gone 3 ahead. The reintroduction of Barry back into that goal shooter position. Sometimes, of course, head coaches will take players off, as Pamela Cook has said, not for any major reason, but just sometimes to watch a game, to read a game, to see who they're playing against, get a bit educated and then bring them back on to continue to do some damage. Barry is back on and shooting well, as is Wallace. Look at that though, Maxwell. So fast tippy feet into the centre. Let's get going.
Yeah, and you can see that when Scotland play with this pace, actually after any turnover ball, after a sideline on the centre pass, it's really quick to push the side forward. And I think Trinidad and Tobago just miss a beat. They want to play with the more casual nature, the flow of it. So if you can get them on the run, that's how Scotland can get on top of them, which they are at this moment.
There's a joke there about missing a beat of being Calypso girls.
Oh.
I'm gonna let it go.
Goal attack.
Please do.
This is good from Scotland, though. You're right, a little bit of intensity, a bit more pace and speed in the last few minutes. That's the nice shot to see Barry in that goal shooter position, giving her side a 3-goal lead. Nearly, gosh, just 2.5 minutes remaining. This third quarter's absolutely flown by here.
And again, Maxwell. Oh, but that one just a little bit too much, how quick they were off that centre pass. It was a good start, but then just needed to land that last feed.
So TNT on the back line.
Yes,
Gosh, it's like the start of a story. A shooter, a keeper, and a 10-foot post.
Once
upon a time.
I like her feistiness in this. She's going for it. She's on defence. She's working hard when they've lost the ball, but causing a contact on this occasion.
There's drive and there is desire from both Wesley Pepe-Gomes, Trinidad and Tobago side, and Gail Parata's Scottish side in this one. Oh, nice little run across the court from the GD Emily Nicol for Scotland.
She's hassling here. Just didn't know where the ball went after it left her hand.
In a World Cup debut, Emily Nicol, the 25-year-old.
Look at her track McCullen here all the way. Good from her to get that front position. And then even when she'd hit it, still stepped up to McCullen just in case.
So 60 seconds remaining. The chant of Scotland is starting to ring around the M&S Bank Arena.
But after doing something so well, just letting that ball slip through her hands.
Maxwell reaching high to obstruct the view of her fellow centre Guerrero. Right on cue. There's a stunt woman roll, but back up in possession with the ball. This one to draw Trinidad and Tobago just one behind Scotland with 30 seconds remaining. Nice take and a lovely smooth style and relaxed nature of Sam Wallace.
Easy for her, isn't it? So easy.
Right, this will be to draw level with 15 seconds to go. Players, hopefully time aware. We saw Northern Ireland earlier in the first match here on day 7, running out of time, much to the frustration of their head coach Dan Ryan. Played the ball around, didn't get the shot in time, but with 3 seconds to go, Trinidad and Tobago do. And very shortly, the whistle is going to go. And the lights go up, and it's 34 apiece. Gail Parata has just a little shake of her head there, the head coach from Scotland. Her side were 1 goal up at half-time, and now we are back even here in Liverpool.
And Trinidad and Tobago, we're in for a real...
So a look of concentration on the face then from Trinidad and Tobago. Guerrero in the centre position gets us up and running. 34 goals each. Myself and Pamela Cookie are scanning the court to see if any changes have been made by Coach Gomes and Parata. If there have, we will bring you up to speed. If there hasn't been, why not, Pamela Cookie? Or would you not make any?
I think
drag.
it will be just in terms of both teams coming out strong in that third quarter, just 1 goal in it. We talk about these kind of lower ranked teams not really having a bench that you can bring on to inject some pace, to do something different, and I think that's the case we're finding here. And so this 7 are really the 7 that are strongest for Scotland and for Trinidad and Tobago.
It's the drive and the desire. It's who wants it more here on day 7.
Centre contact.
Action-packed day, of course. Big matches still to come, but at the moment the biggest one for Scotland is trying to overcome Trinidad and Tobago, and vice versa for the Calypso girls. Maxwell passes it in to Gallagher.
Yeah, we have to remember this is a must-win for both sides in terms of trying to up where they finishes in competition. Ranked lower, or higher, sorry, than where they could potentially finish at 9th. Trinidad and Tobago 10th, Scotland 7th.
Indeed, world rankings, it would mean Trinidad and Tobago pushing up a little bit if they finish 9th here, wouldn't it? Performing, as Wesley Pepe Gomes said, as he expected, to equal the position that they finished in 2015 of 9th would be satisfactory, I think, is probably what he'd say. So he definitely wants to win this one and not go into the 11th, 12th playoff, which would be a drop, as you say, Pamela, in terms of world ranking position for them.
Great pick up there from Swift, getting down low. She's tall, but again, another unforced error. Stepping called. Onella Jack at wing attack. So sorry, there is one change. Wanda John Davis has gone to the bench and Onella Jack is on at wing attack.
Barry under the post. The Zebedee bouncing action of the goalkeeper, Daystar Swift. There she is, strapping on the left shoulder. Let's not forget, this is day 7 of the Netball World Cup. Relentless has been the schedule, said by many of the head coaches. A little bit of fatigue is going to be setting in at some point, surely, Pamela, with the schedule that we've had, exciting as it is, but tiring as well, as Scotland turn it over now and take it back down court to try and increase it out to 2 goals.
Yeah, indeed, and it will be wearing on these players. Great intercept there, but you've played 6 games in 7 days. That's phenomenal. And a lot of these players wouldn't have experienced that before. Unless you're at a major championship, say the Commonwealth Games or a previous World Cup, you wouldn't have had this before.
Hence that learning experience I spoke about that is invaluable throughout all sports for young players, young sports people coming through. Nice bit of movement here now in that wing attack position by Jack.
Contact goalkeeper.
Contact's called against Mulherron, so it will be picked up by the birthday girl McCollin and put over to her teammate Wallace.
Obstruction and contact.
Nice.
Yep, just that one miss from Samantha Wallace. 21 from 22.
Goal shooter, contact.
Oh, that was a harsh call there on Barry. Just deemed to be pushing off before she went forward for the ball. The crowd don't like it.
There's some Trinidad and Tobago fans behind us that were ringing out their opinion on that call.
Guide instruction, goal. Take contact centre.
It was a nice take. It really, really was. Guerrero
That is called
doing some good work in that centre position for her side. The 29-year-old, it's her third World Cup for Candice Guerrero.
So watch here. So it's a really difficult one. What the umpire sees is 12 for one, half a dozen in the other. She was trying to pull her hand out, which got stuck, but then at the same time it looked like she was pushing into the goalkeeper. So it's at what time the umpire actually sees the movement, and that's what's really difficult.
Guided offside. Contact goalkeeper.
36 apiece. The clock's going to bang on. 10 minutes remaining in a minute of this match between Trinidad and Tobago and Scotland. No emotion at all from Sam Wallace. She's only missed one shot so far in this match. 22 she's taken, 21 she's netted. And in this quarter so far, Trinidad and Tobago have the lead by 3 goals to 2.
That was sloppy there, just misplacing that feed into Barry. Hands not able to bring it in.
Hear the shout for her teammates there. McCollin out of the circle, allowed to, of course, in that goal attack position all the way up to the line. They look across to the umpires.
Good work there from Nicol, just drawing that contact off McCollin. Really driving her hard as she goes into that circle.
Scotland have had 3 matches where they've only scored in the 30s here at the World Cup against Samoa, England, and that loss to South Africa. So they're going to potentially pass that with under 9 minutes remaining. But it doesn't matter. The scoreline doesn't matter as long as you've got one more than the opposite team. That's all that counts. Guerrero, that's nicely over and taken by McCollin.
Contact keeper outside. Come forward.
I think the Scottish fans can feel the frustration of Hayley Mulherron in the goalkeeper position right from that first centre pass, Pamela Cookie. The battle that she's had with Wallace has been immense.
It's been phenomenal. It's been great to watch. And Sam Wallace there just making sure, look at that 97% shooting stats. Barry lower on 76%. But this game's tight, but Scotland will have to win this if they want to sit above. Currently, Trinidad and Tobago have the better goal percentage, and that is what counts in terms of ladder position. So Scotland will need to win this game, not draw it, if they want to play off of that 9th and 10th position.
Because matches can still be drawn at this stage, to confirm. And as we are, or have been for most of the match, as Pamela said, going goal for goal. It's a good observation to pick up from. But at the moment, Trinidad and Tobago now are 3 goals ahead, with coming up to 7.5 minutes remaining, after being, let's not forget, 34 all at the end of the 3rd quarter. This will hurt Scotland if they lose this one, Pam.
Yeah, it really will, because I think they've had the opportunities to take this game away. And they've just allowed Trinidad and Tobago at crucial times to get back on it and to close that gap, and then now extend their lead, currently by 3.
You see the folded arms in the back shot, though, of Wesley Pepe Gomes. It would hurt him equally if his Calypso girls can't pick up a victory here. His world-ranked 10 side against world-ranked number 7 Scotland. Look at that. Look at the drive, the desire from Lindsay Gallagher.
Yes, I love that fighting spirit from her. She's going and she's pushing. She can't do any more for her side. 21 from 21. And she just needs the rest of her team now to lift with her.
A little bit of a wince and a hold still of the left hand of Sam Wallace, but it's not deterring her performance or being detrimental in any way at the moment.
We are goal attack.
Right, Scotland need
Centre
to pull this
contact.
one back. 3 goals down.
It's obstruction inside the circle. Inside, goal defence obstruction. Move back, goal attack. With the goal attack, goal defence, stand aside.
Nice. Continues that streak. A lovely step in just to get herself a little bit closer. Look at those stats there. Phenomenal from her. Now she's trying to lift her defensive end to get a turnover, a much needed turnover.
Well, the 27-year-old in her second World Cup, Lindsay Gallagher, flying towards the 100 caps eventually. She'll get there. She arrived here in Liverpool on 81, so a few more in the bank in terms of how many times she's worn with pride the Scottish dress.
Goalkeeper. Is it on? Contact centre.
So McPhail does come onto the court, as we see, at goal defence there.
Stepping.
Nicol to the bench, but another footwork call for Scotland. Fabulous work, and McPhail straight on it now.
Well, it's a super experience for the 21-year-old on the World Cup debut.
Shoot, as the crowd all shouts. She was in a great position, but she just offloaded it.
Possession, goal shooter, it's possession.
Lucky call there under the post.
Possession, no one's out.
This one's got to sink for Scotland just to appease the fans, if nothing else. There you go, that's better. They'll forgive her not shooting in the first place. Scotland pull one back, 41-39. Under 5 minutes remaining. Shouts from the Scotland bench of direction, of encouragement. Gail Parata, the head coach, now leaning forward with her elbows on her knees as we come to the closing stages. But that was nice, a little 1-2 there for the shooters between Trinidad and Tobago.
And that's the experience from Samantha Wallace. She's not letting this get on top of her. She's just still playing that swift, continuous game. She came out the circle to help out and then played herself back in again. Good composure from her, and what you expect from a world-class athlete.
Goalkeeper, your knee, contact. Goal attack where you are. Goalkeeper, come beside.
Scotland won the first quarter. Trinidad and Tobago won the second and the third. They're leading this fourth quarter, and crucially, they're leading the Scottish Thistles by 3 goals. Backline then for Scotland, trying to pull it back to hit the 40 mark, to come within 2.
Nice work there. This girl is really growing and really soaking up this pressure, and her team needed that one just to keep on. Shot percentage 91 there for Trinidad Tobago, 83 for Scotland, and that's what's really been getting them down a bit, but they get this turnover.
Look at the bench. Look at all the players from Scotland in comparison to Trinidad and Tobago. No moves from the team there on the left of your shot. As the Scottish players are on their feet. Shoot again is rung out around the arena for Barry. She passes it back out the shooting circle. The shouts then turn to boos as the Scottish player Gallagher's rolling around the floor.
Everybody's just working hard for this ball, and why the crowd are shouting shoot and why we would like to see Barry turn to the post and shoot is at least just to let the defenders come off her a bit, give herself some space, but also it means it doesn't go back out to the circle, and then you have those little niggle tussles that we just saw there.
Goal defence, move on the other side.
There you go. She's like, listen, when I'm ready to shoot, I'm going to shoot. And she does and pops another one in. The fans like it. An increase in volume here at the arena. From the neutrals for Scotland to pull this one back, as they are doing, to now just 1 goal. And the Scottish fans, well, they're beside themselves around us here because they're sniffing this one. They're sniffing a win here in this match against Trinidad and Tobago.
This one needed. Good step back there, so it wasn't a short pass.
Goal shooter, this first.
Swift is really all over Barry. Really difficult one there.
Obstruction wing.
just trying to hold her space, but when that ball doesn't come in early, that's what makes it more difficult, because as a shooter, you can't hold that possession for that long, that position. Great work, Mulhern, on that baseline. She has to wait, though. Wallace has to be on the court before that ball gets played in, otherwise it would have been turned over. So good job, she waited.
Wallace was taking her time, and she'd have took longer if she could have got away with it. Of course she would have. Her side of 1 goal up. Look at Wesley Gomes. Oh my gosh, I've never seen him so animated in this World Cup so far. His team 1 goal up with 90 seconds remaining. That was a crucial turn of play at the end when Scotland missed the opportunity to draw level. That could be the point in the game that has turned it Trinidad and Tobago's way.
Yeah, because that was Scotland's centre pass, so if Trinidad and Tobago can score this now, it then becomes their centre pass. But they get the turnover, they need to be quick now. Beside himself.
He's up, he's down, he's waving his arms like he's landing planes. He's absolutely all over the place, Wesley Gomes. On the verge here of a victory over Scotland. His team have fought for this one. They're 11-9 down after the first quarter. They've fought back and won the second and the third. They're leading this quarter by 8-7. The clock ticks down.
Nice play, good roll to the back. Do they have enough time though? Great shot there from Barry, but they need this turnover because they can't afford to draw this game.
And Trinidad and Tobago will know that. Scotland need to pressure, they need to take the ball off the Caribbean side.
But they're smart, they're just playing this ball around. They know the implications.
Hold time.
It's still in the hands of Trinidad and Tobago.
To give them a 1-goal advantage. Netball smarts from
Very
Trinidad
smart.
and Tobago.
Very smart.
10 seconds remaining. Here we go, Scotland, to draw it level.
It's not going to be enough time, though, to get another opportunity, but they will draw this game. And that is a win for them in terms of they've never beaten Trinidad and Tobago before. They've never drawn. This is the first draw, so they haven't lost this game. But in terms of where they finish on the table, they can't play off for that 9th and 10th position, which is what they wanted.
What a game against Trinidad and Tobago and Scotland. It ends 43 apiece. A deadlock between the two sides. What a match. It took its time to get going from the crowd's point of view, but boy, did they get into that one. An absolute corker, ends 43 goals apiece, but as Pamela Cookie said, it won't be enough for the Scottish side to face Northern Ireland on Saturday in that 9th, 10th playoff. They'll go in to the match below. And Wesley Gomes, well, he looks at his phone, he's probably checking his heart rate, which was very high at the end of that match. An absolute corker though, 43 goals apiece. Scotland and Trinidad and Tobago serving up another brilliant Netball World Cup match.
Oh, great here to see Scotland thanking the crowd. They did so well to pull this. They won the first quarter, lost the second and third. They drew the fourth to draw this game, and it was a great performance. They'll be disappointed. They had opportunities to win this game. They will now face off against Barbados for 11th and 12th position.
Well, Netball World Cup, they've played each other 9 times. Trinidad and Tobago had won them all. This one, as Pam said, is a draw on the CV and the netball history between these two sides. Wonderful shooting from Barry, wonderful shooting from Gallagher and from Wallace and McCollin, but it ends here 43 goals apiece on a wonderful match here on day 7. So Wesley Peppy Gomes, the head coach of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's see how he's feeling. He's with Gail Davis.
Thanks very much. Well, Wesley, our commentator was a little bit worried about your heart rate there. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Just excited and happy.
Because we saw you in the final minute and it looked agonising. You were waving your arms, you were crossing them, you were uncrossing them. Talk us through the emotion of that last 60 seconds.
It was amazing. I don't know what to think. I was just thinking about the last World Cup, the same kind of scenarios. And then I remember if we draw, we had better goal difference and we should qualify for the 9th and 10th. So that relaxed me a little bit.
Took quite a lot of heart, didn't it, and pride in your side to get you over the line today?
Yes, it goes, and I'm sure a lot of pride. 1.3 million people must be so happy home.
Oh, well played today, and a lot of it was down to the lady alongside you, Sammy Wallace. Come and join us. I guess if there's ever a person to nail that winner, it's probably you, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, no. Oh my God, well, I don't know what to say now, I'm speechless. I'm fatigued, must say.
It looks like fitness had sort of taken its toll a little bit out there. It's tough, isn't it, 6 games in 7 days?
Look, definitely, and especially when I'm moving a lot as a goal shooter, it will take a lot for me, but nevertheless, I'm proud of the girls, and I just want them to lift their head.
And you threatened to get away, didn't you, on a number of times, but you just couldn't manage it, could you?
Look, we had so much opportunities to take that league, and there's silly mistakes, silly errors that caused us this draw, but look, we're going to take so much positive out of this game and get rid of the negative.
And it's Northern Ireland next.
Another one.
Another one, Sammy, yes.
Yeah, that's the next game we're going to put our foot down. I know the girls are very emotional right now, so all I just have to go to the change room and tell them lift their heads. Northern Ireland tomorrow, please the Lord, and let's go out and get that win tomorrow.
And a word finally on your teammate. She can go and have a very happy birthday now, can't she?
Definitely. I think we can get a little cheeky drinking if coach allow us to. So yeah, definitely.
Who'd have thought a draw would have brought so much joy?
Look, we know we're going to be back and forth to Scotland. 2015 in the World Cup, we won overtime by 1. So we definitely know it's going to be a tough match and a revival. You know the word I'm looking for. So yeah.
Go and get a rest. Well played today, Sammy. Gail, come and join us here. Oh, Gail, it was a draw, wasn't it? But it must feel a little bit like a defeat.
Yes, it does feel like a defeat. I'm really disappointed, not in the team, but some questionable umpiring that I thought, our young shooter's getting wrapped up with arms around her and she's getting pulled for a contact. I'm really, really annoyed about that. But that said, we had our opportunities as well during the match and, it's great to get a draw, but I'd rather fight that out to the end in extra time, if possible, next time. So, yeah, it might be a different story if we had the chance to have extra time.
But you must have been proud in the way that your team has really developed and grown over the last few days. They've had some really tough questions asked of them.
Well, yes, I am proud of that, but, we're going to start to win matches now, not just develop anymore. We're pushing in the top 7 at the moment in the world rankings. So to do that, you've got to win matches and win matches like this one today.
I guess overall, you've had some very good individual performances out there and you just have to take that and move on. It's 11th against 12th, isn't it, that you're playing for? Not ideal, but you've still got a chance to go away from this World Cup on a bit of a high.
Well, we do. We do get another opportunity. So, again, really disappointed that we're playing for that position, but, we had to do it early. We knew that Trinidad Tobago would be hard to shake off if we didn't get a lead, and we knew they'd take us all the way. And, even though it's a draw, it's a defeat, really.
Unlucky today, Gail. Thank you.